Jay, that's strangely close to Daniel Jones from the Giants. Daniel, is that you? Beat the Chiefs. Show me. If the Broncos and Russell Wilson can show me that they can beat the Chiefs, then I will start believing.
And the crowd up. And so are this defense, and Kansas City won't snap the ball again. The Denver Broncos have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
Dave Montgomery on the Lions, former Bear, gonna make this his revenge game for sure. David Montgomery gets the touchdown that ices the game. No! And there's a flag. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. Snap, hold, kick.
Denver wins! Denver wins! Let's go!
They open. No!
What happened? Oh shit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Only Football at Dark. Hold on. Going live. I'm on the road right now. My sister's getting married on Saturday, so I got the laptop, and man, did I have some technical difficulties. I spent the last, I don't even know, hour trying to get this shit set up, but I haven't used my laptop in so long that I had to update everything. I mean, my software, my computer, everything needed to be updated. I was like wanting to just give up, but I was like, at this point, I have committed way too much to give up. So here I am, going live on this beautiful Thursday where we had actually football tonight. A great game between the 49ers and the Rams. And it was a game that I did not get to see live, unfortunately. But it's a game that I'm checking out, as we speak right now. I did see that obviously the 49ers got the win. I saw that Brock Purdy was ruled out of this game. I saw that it went into overtime. And I saw that there was a crucial fumble late in the game by the 49ers' second round pick, who had the play of the game, arguably, but that did not stop the Rams from scoring and tying the ball game up. And then the 49ers had gotten a field goal. And we just had a tie last week with the Packers, and I'm watching the replay, and I'm wondering, why did the Rams not on fourth down just kick the field goal to tie the game? And I suppose it's because the 49ers would have gotten the ball back, and then it would have been sudden death, and it was 4th and 2. So I think the Rams thought, if we can convert this, we can score and win the game outright. So they rolled the dice, and unfortunately it didn't pay off. They didn't get it. They got stuffed. 49ers end up winning the game. This is a big win for the 49ers. A big win in this competitive NFC West, which is turning into one of the best divisions in football, with the Cardinals being the only weak team. I mean, you look at the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. That's 3 really good football teams that nobody wants to play. But, man, Christian McCaffrey, another monster game on him. They had to, right? No Brock Purdy, no, unfortunately, no Ricky Pearsall, who I left in my starting lineup. That's what happens when you go out of town for a wedding, right? You make stupid decisions like that. And what pisses me off the most is I knew he was out, but in my head, I thought I had until Sunday to fix my roster. And it didn't occur to me until I got home that I was like, I locked him in. I'm an idiot. I'm a full-blown moron. I'm gonna see really quick. Let me pull this up on YouTube. Make sure that the stream is breathing. And man, I'm just so freaking pissed off about that. Let me check and make sure on YouTube. Yep, there it is. There it is, Kyle Kitzman. Let me make sure I'm going live on the Only Football podcast. And I am. Awesome. 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 Okay. Let me check the quality really quick. Okay, looks like I can even back up the microphone a little bit, like right about here. We'll see how this sounds. Maybe. Okay. Okay. Right about there. Let's get that set up right about there. And this will probably be where we set it up at right here. Let's see how this sounds. Check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good to me. Let me know in the chat if you guys would like me to turn it up or turn it down. Let's talk fantasy football. A real bummer for me. Like I said, I had Ricky Pearsall locked in, even though I knew he was hurt. In my head, because I'm out of town for a wedding, I thought I had until Sunday to freaking change my lineup. So luckily for me, I have Christian McCaffrey, and he had a pretty good game. It's going to keep me at least in the mix. But here we go. I'm signing in right now. Last week we did something similar to this where people just asked me their fantasy football questions, and I feel like I did a really good job last week. So we'll give it a little bit of time. Let some people hop on here, and I'm logging into tomorrow. Me and Rick are going to be doing our predictions as well. So you definitely won't want to miss that. Our week 5 predictions, man. We got the Broncos going up against the freaking Eagles. We're so pumped that we have a serious measuring stick game. Super cliche, but just the opportunity to tell the world we're a for real team. Looking forward to that. Absolutely. Let me see, NFL.com. All right. So, what we learned from the 49ers' dramatic overtime win, 26-23. Number one, okay, Mac Jones turned in one of the best performances of his NFL career. He threw for 342 yards, 2 touchdowns. He led a game-winning interception. I'm sorry, a game-winning touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns. Game-winning field goal drive to stun the Rams. Early in the third quarter, Jones, who was replacing Brock Purdy, hit Kendrick Bourne on a beautiful 19-yard pass, but Jones got hit on the play by, of course, Jared Verse, clearly limping for the remainder of the drive. Then Byron Young hit Jones again, one of 9 hits he took. lying on the turf for a few minutes, Jones peeled himself off the turf, continued firing passes to his short-handed receiving corps, and even converted multiple first downs with his legs after getting hurt. Jones is now 3-0 as a starter in place of Brock Purdy. And man, it just feels like we've seen this before, right? Kyle Shanahan takes a quarterback, resurrects his career after a few down seasons elsewhere, and it seems like this is exactly what's happening with Mac Jones right now. The Rams, late mistakes, costly in this one. The 49ers outplayed the Rams for the bulk of Thursday night games, but the Rams had several chances to regain control of this game, but they could never take the lead, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion. After coming back down from, they were down 20-7. The Rams tied the game early in the fourth, but Joshua Carty's blocked extra point kept it tied. Man, we've seen a lot of games that have been either decided or somehow affected by an extra point being blocked. I think not last week, but the week before, we had the most blocked field goals in the 1 o'clock slate ever. I'm not sure what's going on. If we're just getting worse at blocking, or if the NFL is, getting better at blocking, but blocking field goals. But man, it's becoming more and more common, and that's why I love the field goal extra point being 35 yards. It just adds a layer to the game. It adds one more thing that you need to go your way, that's not a given like it used to be. It used to be something you didn't even watch. 99.9% of times you knew what was going to happen. That is not the case anymore. But the Rams, after that blocked extra point, they went 3-and-out and fumbled at the goal line with 1 minute left on their next two possessions. The Rams got it back after a stop, and Carty tied it to force overtime. But unfortunately, they couldn't keep Mac Jones from driving down the field to take the lead. Given the chance to tie the game or go for the kill shot, Sean McVay chose the kill shot on 4th-and-1 from San Francisco's 11-yard line. 3 minutes left in overtime. There was no thought of tying the game. Instead, he paid the ultimate price. Kyren Williams, who fumbled on the 1-yard line in the fourth quarter, he was stuffed for no gain, and that's it. The 49ers win. Their defense, clutch special teams, that's what got it done. The 49ers are limping into every game. They came into SoFi Stadium limping. And look, they just lost to the Jaguars. This was a quick turnaround. One thing is for sure, Robert Saleh has this defense playing great football again. Great football. The Rams looked prepared to take the lead in regulation with just a minute left. And Kyren Williams had daylight en route to the end zone, but guess what? Alfred Collins stripped the ball loose and recovered it at the goal line. The 49ers lost Kalia Davis with a hand injury and Yetur Gross-Matos with a hamstring. So the group is really thin, but the guys that, next man up, those guys stepped up in a big way, holding the Rams to 3 points on their final 4 possessions, all of them in good field position. Eddie Pinheiro had a 59-yard field goal, which that is awesome. This is a veteran kicker. I wasn't sure, if he had any 59-yard field goals left in him. It's nice to see that he's able to get one through the uprights from 60 yards away. That's pretty cool. Gave the Niners the lead with 3 minutes left, and his 41-yard field goal in overtime was the winner. The Niners made the big plays when they needed to be played. That's pretty much it, right? The Rams are a good football team, right? Now they've lost 2 football games to 2 really good football teams. And I don't believe that the Rams are worse than the 49ers. I don't believe they're worse than the team that they were up 26-6 on the Philadelphia Eagles last Sunday. I just think they're struggling to play a complete 4 quarters. Right? You're up 26-6, you got to win that game, right? You're down in this game. I mean, you shouldn't be in such a hole where you got to climb out of it. I mean, if you played a complete game, like the fact that it was 20-7 to climb out of this, no problem. It's just the Rams haven't been able to do for a full game. And when they do, they're going to be a tough team. Next Gen Stats has Terrence Ferguson, the Rams tight end. His first NFL reception was a 21-yarder from Matthew Stafford. Had only a 27% completion probability. And NFL research, with 10 receptions in Week 5, Puka Nacua became the 4th player in NFL history to have 7 or more receptions in at least 9 consecutive games, and now has 52 catches, the most in league history over a player's first 5 games. I believe he broke, I think it was Justin Jefferson. I know a player's first 3 seasons is on the table for Puka Nacua to break Justin Jefferson's record. And then there's records with Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. Kurt Warner was talking about it, and he was like, look, I'm not trying to talk bad about Puka Nacua, but I'm just saying that is a different NFL. Like nowadays, they get 5 catches, at the line of scrimmage. Like we didn't do that, back in my day, we were pushing the ball downfield. But it don't really matter how you dress this up. Puka Nacua is making a serious case as one of the best NFL receivers. And I know that doesn't seem like a bold statement, but I'm talking about, like, I don't want to hear anybody going, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. You better start talking about Puka Nacua in the same breath you talk about those guys, right? He's not a tier underneath. Oh, yeah, and then there's a step down where we get Devontae Adams. No. Puka Nacua needs to start being talked about the way we talk about Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb. It's time. It's time. Week 5 picks came out. They put the Eagles on upset alert. And I got to say, I feel pretty good about it. I'm going to read it to you. Also, the Vikings playing in London against the Cleveland Browns. This is going to be the first game ever that we get a look at Dylan Gabriel. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow, so I don't want to get into that now. But I wanted to say the game that is on upset alert, the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. We actually have 2 different people taking the Broncos. Okay. Now, I'll tell you right off the bat, all of the people taking the Eagles have the Eagles winning by 3, 4, or 5 points. Nobody is going over 5. And then 2 of the 5 are going Denver straight up. 2-point win, 3-point win. Here is why Tom picked the Broncos. I originally had a whole blurb laid out explaining why the Broncos should be perfectly poised to finally knock Philly down a peg, but how they ultimately won't until I talked myself into actually believing in Denver. Don't worry, I'm not just getting carried away by Bo Nix and company's decisive primetime win over the flailing Bengals or all the soapy drama swirling around A.J. Brown. What ultimately persuaded me to take a chance on the Broncos here was their defense. They've allowed a passer rating of 78.4, sixth lowest in the NFL. They have the best pressure rate, 48.1%, and the sixth lowest EPA allowed per carry. The Eagles' offense, meanwhile, has failed to crack 300 total yards in 3 weeks in a row, generating fewer than 100 rushing yards in each of their last 2 games. The only time they fell below that rushing total last season was in Week 18, when most of the starters were resting for the Super Bowl run. Okay, that's the only time in the past 2 seasons the Eagles have generated fewer than 100 rushing yards when they weren't even playing their starters. Now, the Eagles have done that the past 2 games in a row. There is something going on with the Eagles' offense. There is. Okay, they are not what you remember them. And it's hard because if you're not watching football closely and you just see the Eagles are undefeated and Jalen Hurts is awesome and they won the Super Bowl, it's easy to get caught up in something that's not real. There is pretty good 4-0 teams, and there's really good undefeated teams, and there's really good 2-2 teams. There's really unlucky 2-2 teams. The Denver Broncos had a leverage penalty against the Colts. They were up 10 with 3 minutes left against the Chargers. Yeah, I mean, we could talk about coulda, shoulda all day long, but I'm not talking about the Broncos right now. I'm talking about the Eagles. The Eagles have been struggling massively, yet they're 4-0. So if you're not paying attention, I could see how you would think that the Eagles are going to be just fine. They're going to just keep on winning. But this is not the Eagles from last year. They're not running the football effectively. They're not throwing the football. The one thing they're doing is playing really good defense. And Jalen Hurts is taking care of the football. And that recipe is going to give you a chance to win every time. Every time. But it's not going to make you undefeated, right? To be undefeated like the Patriots, you got to be dominant all over. When you are struggling the way the Eagles are struggling right now, you are a ticking time bomb. Your first loss is right around the corner. The real question is, can the Denver Broncos go out there and exploit all the things the Eagles are struggling to do? Well, they have the best pressure rate. They've allowed a passer rating of 78.4, sixth lowest in the NFL. They have the best pressure rate. I mean, they're going to be able to get pressure on Jalen Hurts. They're going to stop the run, and they're going to have to play good defense. And then this game turns into, well, okay, both teams are playing good defense. Can Bo Nix take care of the football? All right. And if he does, then we got both quarterbacks taking care of the football. Then it comes down to, well, which offense is better? I'll ask you, which offense do you trust more in this game? That question undoubtedly is why 2 out of 5 people have the Broncos winning this game. There are people out there that would rather go with the Broncos offense. It's just the way it is. Granted, the Eagles defense is just as much of a force. A lot of people, they don't feel great about rolling with Knicks and Sean Payton to get their first road win in Philly. But they're just kind of going out on a limb here and saying Philly's offense finally falls into a hole it can't climb out of. I mean, until they put a better product on the field, I'm going to take a chance that this is the week that Philly doesn't find a way to win a game where they're down 26-6. I mean, come on. This is going to be a really good football game. And they call it upset alert. I feel like that's disrespectful. It's not an upset. This is two football teams that are really good going up against each other. An upset is when the Cleveland Browns beat the Packers. That's an upset. The Denver Broncos going into Philly. That's just a good football game. Reminder, tomorrow I am going to be live with Rick. We are going to be doing our week 5 predictions. So make sure you're here for that. It's going to be a good time. As always, hit the thumbs up button. I just wanted to check in with you guys. Slow night tonight. Nobody came in, but that's okay. I will check with you guys. I'll check back with you guys tomorrow. Just wanted to say I love you all. And I'm going to be in Milwaukee until Sunday, but I'll be here. I'll be checking in, doing little videos here and there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for week 5 predictions. See ya.